Jochen, Teizer. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you very much.
Thank you for your presentation. I very much enjoyed it. Sadly, I missed the panel discussion, so I hope that we don't get too many repeats here in the live stream to the digital audience. That's perfectly fine. Perfect.
Yes.
And first of all, I want to ask, now you've gone through so many different strategies and ways for construction industry to work more safety on in their sites. If there were to be like the first small step for a contractor, something that they could do right now, where would they start?
What I would try to do is to think first, where are your problems? I think be very pragmatic and see where the problems are. Look at your processes and try to figure out what may not be working well. Don't think first about technology or methods, but think about where the problem is. And then think and be open enough to actually embrace then the use of technology to actually help you solve the problem. I think that's one important part. Really doing a really good scope definition of your problem that helps you a lot in saving time, choosing the right solution.
Thank you. So really start looking at where you are at the moment, really. Yeah. And if I were a contractor or an urban planner, or how would a digital twin? If I had that in my portfolio, how could I use that to work for a more sustainable city and community in my different wherever I'm starting? If I do a building or a hospital or maybe even further parks and city landscapes, really, where could the digital twin really help out?
Well, a digital twin has a couple of parts. Like if you think about city planning, there's lots of rules and regulations you simply have to follow. Probably it's a book that's that big, or even maybe much bigger, depending in which city or regulation or in which part you live. And applying all of the rules and the codes is really challenging. So I think here you could use AI to actually help you design better plans. And I think that's one part. You should start with that, coming up with good plans that fit the code, so you don't make mistakes that afterwards people will not like or will not get approved by building permits. And of course, a digital twin can then help you to also analyze what is the future state. I think that's very important. A digital twin is not just there to come up with the best plan. It's actually something that is looking into the future. And that's where data that you can collect along the way can help you say, okay, well, this project should be going in this direction rather than the other direction.
Thank you so much. And really one last question. If someone is interested in learning more about AI for a digital workforce, which was your keynote, where would you recommend them to start?
Well, it's a good question. I mean, you can start everywhere. I think there's the daily connections that these people have probably is a good start to see what others have been doing, a benchmarking, maybe going even to universities to see what's going on if they have defined their scope of work quite well. I think there's many opportunities to actually reach out. What I would encourage is to ensure that you don't overpromise your goals. Or don't try to reach too much in the first place. Make small steps. I think that's very important. If you make too big steps, you can easily fail and fall down and get a bloody nose. Nobody wants that. So make small steps and learn. Maybe the investment in the beginning doesn't need to be that big. It can be small, but learning along the way is, I think, a very good approach. I'm originally from Germany, and in Germany we build always the best fancy car, and everything has been solved. There's nothing else to do. Buyers can just use it, right? But in the end, today's world doesn't work that way anymore, right? I mean, of course, you really want to have quality, but you actually start with something and actually release it early, not from a negative way, but actually to learn, right? So I think there is a good lessons learned along how the industry has changed also in the past couple of years or decade. I think that's, try to be open and creative. I think that's the most important. Don't be optimistic, and finding the solution.
Yeah, like you, optimist. Yes. Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much. Is there anything else that you want to add before we leave the digital audience for now?
Well, in general, I think one important part in the world in general is to ensure that we work collaboratively. I think there is scarce resources right now, especially in economic downturns. In many countries that is actually in the place, but some actually are doing fine, and enable others to succeed. I think it's in the end, the industry needs to learn from each other, at least sharing good and positive examples. And then we can advance, in particular in safety. That's one of the lessons learned I have in my life is when companies share knowledge, it actually works out that the entire industry benefits from each other. And I think that's good, because money should be spent responsibly. The world has so many problems, we need to fix them. And that means resources, financial resources as well. So let's be careful about that.
Thank you so much, and thank you for being here at the Nordic BIM Summit today. I very much enjoyed your presentation.